oh, you shoot video with Nikon. No real filmmaker would do that. Yeah, Nikon users have heard it all before. For years, Nikon was the photography giant, but when it came to video, it was the punchline of the joke. But what if I told you that same company is now shaking up the filmmaking world?
What?
For over a decade, Nikon cameras were written off as useless for serious video work.
My Nikon is horrible and I do not recommend it for shooting videos.
No decent autofocus, no proper codecs, and definitely not Hollywood material. Fast forward to today, the Z9, Z8 and Z6 III, and now the bombshell acquisition of Red Digital Cinema, and suddenly Nikon is making waves in the film industry.
So I feel like all this time, I've been saying all this just to say, the Nikon is not just a potato.
I absolutely love this camera. I'm happy that I switched from the FX3 to the Nikon Z8.
The Z8 absolutely delivered on the quality front.
It's very clear Nikon is now listening to video professionals and they're making something that's very flexible and very intuitive for us to work with.
So, how did Nikon go from an afterthought to a powerhouse in video? And more importantly, should filmmakers pay attention? First, a quick introduction about me. My name is Terrence and I've been a wildlife photographer and videographer for the past 10 years. I am currently a Nikon ambassador and I've been using Nikon cameras for the past 8 years. 8 years ago, pulling out a Nikon DSLR for video felt like showing up to a Formula 1 race in a bicycle. Whether it was wildlife, weddings or corporate gigs, I knew my Nikon camera was not keeping up. Meanwhile, everyone else was rocking Sony and Canon, and I couldn't help but feel a little ashamed. But fast forward to today, I proudly carry my Nikon Z6 III everywhere. In fact, it's filming me right now. So, what changed? Let's rewind and break it down. Imagine it's 2008. You're shooting on the Nikon D3, a camera with world-class photo quality. But then, something shifts. Video takes over. That year, Nikon actually made history with the D90, the world's first DSLR to shoot video. Sounds impressive, right? But there was one tiny problem. It was no good. No autofocus, terrible compression, limited controls. It was more of a gimmick than a tool for serious filmmakers. Then, just a few months later, Canon dropped the 5D Mark II, and everything changed.
The Canon 5D Mark II was truly a revolutionary camera. It came out in 2008, and it was the first DSLR to film full HD 1080p video. It was a milestone camera. The hype was real when it came out.
For the first time, you had a full-frame DSLR shooting cinematic 1080p video, and filmmakers jumped on it. Hollywood even started using it. TV shows like House and movies like The Avengers had scenes that were shot on the 5D Mark II. And Nikon? Well, Nikon sat back and watched as Canon took over filmmaking, and Sony jumped into the game with its low-light beast like the A7S series.
Once we saw what the A7S was capable of, people started losing their pants.
For nearly 1 decade, Nikon was out of the video conversation. Autofocus was unreliable, codecs were very limited, rolling shutter was unbearable. If you were serious about video, you did not shoot Nikon. And that was just how it was until things started to change. By 2018, Nikon had a choice: adapt or get left behind. Enter the Z6 and Z7, Nikon's first full-frame mirrorless cameras. And for video, these were a massive improvement over their DSLRs. Full-frame 4K video with oversampling for sharp details. N-Log for better dynamic range and color grading. 10-bit external recording, a feature serious filmmakers wanted. But here's the thing, the Z6 and Z7 were good, but not great.
That said, because of the lack of internal 10-bit and especially because of the weak preamps on these cameras, I wouldn't use them as primary video devices.
Autofocus? Still not as good as Sony. Internal recording? no 10-bit like the Panasonic GH5, and Canon already dominating with dual-pixel autofocus. For most filmmakers, Nikon was still behind. It was close, but not enough to make people switch. That is, until 2021. No one expected Nikon to drop a bomb like the Z9. No mechanical shutter, meaning rolling shutter, was virtually eliminated. Internal 8K 60p raw video without needing an external recorder. 4K 120p slow motion for ultra smooth cinematic footage. And RAW and ProRes RAW, giving professionals Hollywood level flexibility. For the first time, Nikon was competing head-to-head with Canon and Sony. And the best part, filmmakers actually started using it.
Using a Nikon Z9. Let's bring this camera to South Africa.
One of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had.
For years, Nikon had been written off as a photo brand. But the Z9 was different. It was showing up on commercial shoots, documentaries, and even major productions. Then came the Z8 in 2023, a more compact version with nearly the same video power as the Z9.
Nikon's literally throwing everything that they have in this camera. It's pretty mind-blowing.
And now, the Z6 III, a budget-friendly camera with high-end features, brings Nikon's video game to an even wider audience. This was no longer just a photography company trying to do video. This was Nikon making a statement. But they were not done yet. If there was one thing nobody expected in 2024, it was this: Nikon acquiring Red Digital Cinema. And if you don't know why this is huge, let me put it this way. Red isn't just a camera brand. It is a Hollywood legend. Films like The Social Network, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, The Hobbit were all shot on Red cameras. And Red's biggest weapon? Redcoat RAW. This patented RAW video format delivers insane image quality while keeping file sizes efficient. And now, Nikon owns that. What that means is that future Nikon cameras could feature Redcoat RAW. We might see a dedicated Nikon cinema camera. Compression and color science will hit an entirely new level for Nikon. Nikon isn't just catching up anymore, it's making moves to dominate video. For the first time in years, filmmakers are genuinely considering Nikon as a hybrid camera option. The Z9, it's showing up on commercial and documentary shoots. The Z8, a favorite among wedding filmmakers and YouTubers. The Z6 III, a dream for budget filmmakers who want high-end features. Nikon is no longer just a good option for photos that also shoots video. It is now a serious tool for hybrid shooters. With Red's technology and Nikon's imaging expertise, the future could be game-changing. Could we see a dedicated Nikon cinema camera? Will Nikon mirrorless cameras rival Sony's FX lineup? Could we get better color science, better compression, and even more pro features? One thing is for sure, the days of Nikon is bad at video are officially over. Nikon is no longer just a photo company, it is a video powerhouse. So the real question is, will filmmakers finally start switching? What do you think? Will Nikon become the next big name in filmmaking? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.